and welcome to Small Town Big Business, a podcast about doing big business in small town America. Thanks for being with us. I am Jennifer Olson, Director of Business Development for the City of Marion.
And I'm Russell Williams. I'm Director of EThOs. We're a small business incubator, co-working spaces, training and development here in downtown Marion. You're joining us at the Citadel building on Tower Square Plaza. Thank you for joining us, and thank you to our sponsors for supporting small town big business. Thank you to Arcadia Wealth Group, Fowler Heating and Cooling, Black Diamond RV and Harley Davidson, Swinford Media Group, Watermark Auto Group Foundation, and our producers at Union Street Arts.
You can find the Small Town Big Business community on your favorite platform, whether that is Spotify, Podbean, Apple, any of the platforms where you listen to podcasts. Just make sure that you hit subscribe so you don't miss any episodes. And if you want to see us, you can find us on YouTube. I never watch that. I just listen. But if you want to find us on YouTube, and we are on social media, so please follow us, subscribe so you don't miss an episode. And with that, I'll introduce our guests. So we're always looking for founders, doers, movers, and shakers. And today our guest is Melissa Plant with Coldwell Banker.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here.
Absolutely.
Want to kick it off?
Sure,
Okay.
yeah. So Melissa, I kind of know your background just a little bit.
Yes.
I have followed you and your family in a nice way, not a creepy way.
Yes,
But
exactly.
tell us a little bit about how you got into this business, a little bit about if you're from this area or how you got here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, again, my name is Melissa Plant, as you guys know. I have been married to John Plant for 25 years. We just celebrated our 25th wedding anniversary. Have 3 children, 23 and twin 20-year-olds, Kylie, Zach, and Gavin. Mm-hmm. So we moved here 20 years ago, and we moved here with twin 2-week-old babies and a 3-year-old little girl to a brand new town where the only people we knew in the entire town were Jeff and Margaret Diedrich.
Oh, wow.
That is it. So we moved into Kokopelli. I stayed at home. God bless John with a great job, great career. So I was a stay-at-home mom. Stayed at home for 16 years. But once we sent our boys to preschool, Kylie in kindergarten, I started Plant Group Incorporated, which is our rental business. Okay. So I flipped a couple houses, had a few units of rentals, triplex, duplex, couple duplexes, I guess, couple houses, and that's what I did in my spare time. Taught the kids some work ethic. They tagged along with me. It was great, and it was perfect for what it was. So for 16 years, I was the taxi cab driver, the cook, the laundry girl, also the soccer coach, the basketball coach, the assistant to John's baseball coaching. I loved all of it. PTO, taught PE at Unity Christian School, all the fun stuff. So then fast forward to, oh crap, Kylie's leaving for college and the boys are turning 16 and I'm no longer really needed in any of those fields other than cooking and laundry. So I decided to go towards the only thing I had known for the past 16 years in business, which was real estate. So now I am a realtor at Coldwell Banker J. David Thompson's office here in Marion and absolutely love it.
Great.
So
do you still have all the rental property too?
Some of them, we've sold off a few things, but yes, we still have the rentals.
Oh gosh, so you're still juggling a little bit.
A little bit. Juggling more, the real estate is super busy. And then what we're juggling more than the rentals is visiting our kids from West Kentucky University to Springfield, Missouri. So we bounce back and forth.
Yeah. So we have no shortage of real estate agents
no, we do not.
in town. So what do you think makes you different, or what has helped you find some success?
So what's helped me more than anything is just being involved. Like I said, for 20 years, we've been involved in the community. We go to Aldersgate. That's where I met Russ. Yep. And I think travel soccer is where we met you, Jen.
Yes.
So, through all those experiences, I have coached about everyone's kid in town. If you have a child between the age of 24 and, let's say, 18, either my husband or I have coached at some point if they played soccer, basketball, baseball, softball, you name it. And so I just think all the connections is what it is.
Yeah.
Cool.
And what other strengths do you bring to the business? Connections is a big one.
Connections is huge. Other strengths would be I am an empty nester now, so I devote all my time to real estate. You know, I am a busybody.
Yeah.
You will never see me sitting and watching a movie unless I'm sick, extremely tired, it's too cold to be outside, something. I am always busy. So that is definitely a strength in this business, is the fact that I'm okay answering the phone at 6 a.m. in the morning or at 11 p.m. at night. I'm okay with that. And my phone rings nonstop, but I don't have the kids in the background screaming and yelling. I'm not being tugged everywhere. I'm literally just full-time agent because my kids are gone. So,
how's your family feel about that?
You know what? The kids are so proud of me. They're always like, "You go, Mom. You know, you rock." And then John, he loves it. He doesn't mind it at all. He's such a trooper. He tags along with me to put out real estate signs sometimes, especially, well, for instance, this weekend, you're asking one of the strengths, something that is a little different. For instance, this weekend, I have someone coming to town from Paducah, Kentucky to go out on the lake. We're going out on the boat Saturday. They called me wanting to look at real estate, but wasn't sure it's what they wanted. They had never been on the lake. So Captain John, he hops in the boat with me and off we go, so I can be kind of the tour guide. And he will pull us up to look at houses and just, he's fabulous. So huge support.
Yeah.
Very supportive.
I mean, that certainly sets you apart from other real estate folks. I mean, just relatable and positivity and energetic, and you're willing to do something like this.
Yeah. It makes it fun.
Yeah.
You know, real estate is something different every day. If you think real estate is selling sunsets, boy, are you wrong. Boy, are you wrong. So
how do you balance, and how are there any like hacks or like platforms or things that make your life and your business easier?
Well, I don't know about hacks, but the one thing that makes your life so much easier is your phone, obviously. So I don't know, you're gonna have to cut that out.
Sorry.
What is
okay.
a hack?
Resources that you might use, tools that you might use.
Like one of my hacks, because I always get asked to volunteer for things, and I'm a sucker for flattery, so people will say like, "Oh, you did so good with it. Oh, you did so good." So my hack for deciding if I'm going to say yes or no is, would I do it if I had to go tonight? And if the answer is no, it's probably going to be no if it's November. So that's what I think of a hack, is like like something you've taught yourself to help you make decisions. But we can always strike that question.
Yeah, we're gonna have to strike that
That's
one.
fine.
That's cool.
Sorry.
No.
Well, let me ask the why Marion. I mean, because you are in the business of selling Marion, Illinois. So what's the great parts about Marion, Illinois?
That is a fabulous question that I actually just answered the other day when I had someone come in from Florida, and I had toured around with her for 8 hours, to lunch, to everywhere. And she asked that question nonstop, just digging deeper and deeper. And it's so great that I can say it with full confidence. You know, you're only a good salesman if you believe in your product, right? Yeah. Well, I love Marion. I love the people of Marion. I love the community. It's not just a town, it's a community. If you need help, if you need assistance of any kind, there is always someone to help you. You know, and I love the fact that our mayor is so involved in the community. You can see him out sweeping or doing whatever. He's always there, and he believes in the people of his community. He's put his trust in people to build these small businesses. Look at EThOs. I mean, how many other places a town this size has something like this? Yeah. You know, he puts his whole heart into helping our community. And that's why I just love Marion. Our kids went all through school here, and there is nowhere else I'd rather raise my children.
And do you sell beyond Marion, or kind of really focus on this community?
So most of my business is Marion and the Lake of Egypt. And by Lake of Egypt, I mean Marion, Creel, Goreville, all of it. Yeah. But I do quite a bit in Goreville also, just the city of Goreville. And then I go from Saline County to Jackson up to Mount Vernon. I've done once. Usually I stay Franklin County or south, and then down into Johnson County.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a pretty good radius, but Marion keeps me very busy. Marion is growing so quickly that as soon as something hits the market in Marion, it's typically gone. As long as it's priced right, it's good and clean, and you know, it's in location doesn't even matter at this point. As long as it's priced right for that location, things are selling. Everything from rentals to $1 million homes, they're all selling.
Yeah. So to get from starting in real estate to where you are now, I mean, for me, it was overnight for me because all of a sudden I saw your photo on all the signs and everything. So is that mainly hustle, or how do you grow so quickly?
I've been truly blessed. I sit back and ask that same question sometimes. First off, I had the best mentor ever, Shelly Kane. I don't know if you guys know her. She's fabulous. And Wanda Kane's her mother-in-law. She's a wealth of knowledge. Jay David, although he's passed now, was huge into my early success. And then
Thompson.
Yes, Jay David Thompson. And then Robbie Thompson, his son, has since taken over the Coldwell banker, and he's great. You know, anytime I have a question, I call him, he's answering everything immediately. So he's great. So it has to be my support staff at work is fabulous, but then my goodness, the cheerleaders I have, the support I have with my family and my friends has been tremendous. And then just all of the people I know in the community, everyone's supportive. So just very, very blessed.
And I love to stay on the positive, but other than maybe some challenges with inventory, are there other challenges, or do you want to talk about the inventory in our market?
Inventory is super low. So inventory today is right around 46 to 48 houses in Marion that is not pending or already sold. So that's just the for sale. And that's anything with a Marion address. So that includes the Lake of Egypt and out in the country. So, and that's residential, not commercial. But yeah, inventory typically is around 100. So it's been cut in half. So it's funny because I actually called Robbie Thompson on my drive here and said, hey, will you look up how many houses are listed? And then I was like, and how many is normal? Because I've been in this business for 4 years. I've never been in normal. I have been in this market since it got really hot. And I mean, it was just perfect timing, and I jumped right in and took off. Yeah. So very, very lucky.
So you mentioned some mentors and cheer. What about other partners to get it across the line to closing?
Oh gosh, yes. You have to work well with others. That is definitely something that should be at the top of the list of realtors. I work well with others. Because you're not only working with your client and their lender, you're working with the other agent, the buyer, the seller, the other agent, the lender, the appraiser, the inspector, down to the title company. So the challenges are all there. The great thing about real estate, though, is your challenges are 30 to 60 days. You know, because your challenges are finding a house, getting through an inspection, getting the loan, to go through. The appraisal, making sure it appraises out. And that's a challenge in itself, like at the lake. It's totally different at the lake than it is in town. So those are the challenges I face. But the great thing is, once that house closes, those challenges are gone and you face new challenges. Yeah. So every single day are new challenges. Yeah. Every single day is something different. And that's probably why I like the job so much, because as I said earlier, I'm a busybody. Nothing is the same. Yeah. It's no 2 days are alike.
Okay, so I'm going to dig into that.
Yes.
If you'll be honest with us.
Okay.
You don't have to name names or anything like that, but what's some discoveries that you've made and that's like, oh my gosh, I didn't know this was going to be part of the job?
Oh, let's see. Things that you don't think about. Okay, things that you absolutely don't think about at all is like you go to a final walkthrough and you're an hour before closing. Everything's great. All the repairs are done. You show up and there's a garage full of trash because the seller didn't move the trash out. And that's when you're like, hey, Dad, what are you doing? You want to meet me at such and such address with the truck? Yeah. And I just make it happen. I have moved the refrigerators in and high heels and a dress. Yeah. I've drug out old furniture from basements. Cleaned out garages, you name it, I've done it. Yeah. But I'm going to tell you my very first deal. This is a great one. I'd forgotten about this one. So something you never thought. I got a phone call from an older gentleman in the nursing home, 88 years old, and He had a house he needed to sell. His wife had passed. His kids lived in Chicago. So he told me where the key was hidden. I listed his house, did all this from the nursing home and his home, right? We get it sold. Fast forward, COVID hits. His children, and I said he was 88. He was not. He was 90.
Oh, wow.
He was 90 something, 95, 96, something like that, because his children were over 70 and they were very scared of COVID. So they wouldn't come down. My twins and I cleaned out his entire house, had to remove all furniture, everything. Had to drive his car that was parked in there to our house and store it until his children could come down. So those are the things that you don't expect to do.
Yeah.
Fast forward a year, these people knew no one. Their dad needed to go to the doctor's office and COVID was still here. Guess who they called?
Wow.
And I took him to the doctor.
Wow.
Yeah. So those are the things that you don't think you're getting into.
Yeah.
But I love every minute of it. You know, it's all about connections. It's all about people.
Yeah.
And this guy needed that so bad. He needed the help. And
Yeah.
I hopped in my car and
That's
off I
awesome.
went
That's awesome.
to the nursing home and picked
Yeah.
him up at the back door. So
That speaks a lot about your own character and your upbringing and the things that you've grown up to learn. I mean, I know that were you competitive sports? In competitive sports?
was I competitive? Yes, extremely.
Volleyball?
Actually, basketball.
Basketball,
I played
okay.
basketball at Johnny Logan.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have volleyball at Massac County when I was in school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how's
So-
that help you now?
Well, it teaches you to work well with others. It teaches you to put your head down and go for it at all times, not to quit, not to give up. There's always a will. If there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
And then, you know, having a coach in your ear all the time. As a real estate agent, we get calls occasionally that your client's mad. They're upset. They're angry because that inspection report was not what they thought it should be, or their people are asking for something ridiculous. And as an athlete, being yelled at nonstop, thank you, Jimmy Prevallet, my old high school coach, who is my favorite. Anyway, it teaches me that I know these people aren't yelling at me because they're mad at me. They're yelling at me because they're mad at the situation.
Right.
And then we just have to find a solution.
That's great.
So I don't take any of that personal, and that's because of athletics,
Yeah.
for
that's
sure.
really good.
That's really
excellent.
good.
Yeah.
So, do you have any advice for your younger self, or maybe that person who thinks they want to strike out and start a business, but they're a little unsure or on the fence?
Go for it. I mean, if you have a heart for it, go for it. You know, look at the resources in Marion. Don't sit back and say, I can't. There's no such thing as I can't. Find a way to do it. Make it happen. Give these guys a call. You know, you guys are here at EThOs to help develop these small businesses. I mean, the luncheons you guys have, the education you provide is incredible. So stop making excuses and get out there and do it.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
And how about for the home buyer that's like, it's not a great market because the interest rates are high? Give us your sales pitch. What would you say about keep working?
Okay, interest rates being higher have definitely affected some people. It affects a lot of the second home home buyers. Sorry, the second time or the cut that out.
It's good.
Okay, so it affects more of the second home people. I was selling real estate down at the Lake of Egypt like crazy at 2.5%. Families were buying those second homes. It has affected that. As far as what to tell these people who, you know, they're 20, 30, 40 years old wanting to buy a house and they're like, oh, the interest rates are terrible. You know, they're at 6.5% or 7%. Well, your rent is 100%. So that's what I tell them. Like, find that investment and make it your own home. Because if you're going to live there for at least 3 or 4 years, it's time to buy. Now, if you're only in town for a year, I understand renting.
Yeah.
So I don't try to talk people into things that I wouldn't do myself. But as far as the interest rates go, yeah, if you're renting and you're paying $1,200 a month, 100% is going to someone else.
Yeah. And does Marion have a good range of unique homes and historical homes? And just, tell us a little bit about the market here.
So we do have some great homes downtown. I don't know if y'all saw the one that was just refurbished down on East Main. It's great. I love to see people come in and take these older homes and make them something spectacular. So we do have a few of those. We have great properties around the let's say 70,000 to 120,000 that a lot of people use for rentals, or they're the smaller 2-bedroom, 1-bath homes, 2-bedroom, maybe 1.5 to 2 baths. So we have those. The homes that we are in need of so badly are those homes that are 200,000 to 350,000. I mean, they're here in Marion, but they're occupied. And we have a list of people looking for those homes. I have calls every single day. Hey, are you still, have you forgotten about me? No, there's just nothing out here. So there's a great need for those homes. Coccopelli has really taken off. They are booming now with the whole new renovation they've had. Whereas Coccopelli wasn't selling a few years ago as quickly, it's going like crazy right now.
Yeah.
So any house you list out there is gone pretty quick.
Yeah.
So that's really nice. Thanks to Black Diamond and everything they do for the community, it's really bumped that up.
And other home building growth areas, Morningside, I guess, is still growing.
Oh, Morningside's fabulous.
Phase 11.
Phase 11.
Yep.
Wow.
And they just, as soon as they get started, they're sold.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
Yeah, it's very popular area.
Do you have a sense, and it may be different in town versus the lake, of your buyers? Are they typically people from here, first time, or upgrading, or are they coming in from out of the area? Kind of what does that mix look like?
Completely different than I ever thought it would.
Okay.
So I really thought that the only people that would be buying in Marion would be from Southern Illinois. Either they moved away, they're coming back to be with family, or they're downsizing, or they're increasing the house size, the family's growing. I thought that's who I would deal with. It's incredible the amount of people who are moving here from other places. So the lady from Florida that I rode around with for 8 hours, she has a house she's purchasing in town. I just sold one last week. We closed on Monday to a lady moving here from Webb City, Missouri. Now, she is originally from Southern Illinois, but I've also sold to people from Oregon, Washington, Tennessee. So it's incredible, the people who come to our area and they fall in love. So I always ask them, why Southern Illinois? Like, why Marion? And every time, or almost every time, they say, the community, the nicest people you'll meet, there's plenty to do here, and they love the outdoors. I think the Shawnee National Forest really brings a lot of people to our area, for whether it's visiting or to stay, permanent residents. So,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So kind of just staying on that point real quick is like, if somebody says, I'm coming in for the weekend and I want to see these 3 houses or whatever, and they give you a period of time, what suggestions as part tour guide do you give them, or where do you send them in their downtime if they're looking for activities?
Okay. So I have a lot of people just come in for the day that are looking for a lunch spot. So I'm always like, try the Turn, 618, Cross-Eyed Bears out at the lake, the Vault if they're breakfast time, and now Granny Puckett's. Have y'all been over there?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
That's so good. It's really nice.
Yeah.
I have not been to Little Nashville yet. That's what I'm dying to go.
Yeah.
We should do that.
I know. But yeah, I always send them to the local restaurants. And then if they're looking for an evening, a late night, it's either usually the Turn or the Hideout. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I always try to push them towards those small businesses though. We have so many friends that own their own small business. So I really try to support them along with every other small business in town.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome.
Yep.
What else are you excited about in terms of the market here in Marion and the growth that we're witnessing?
With everything coming to town right now, the processing plant, Saline Rivers, that's going to bring a lot of people. The sports complex, I'm just super excited about the growth and knowing that people are moving to town. We just need new subdivisions. We need housing so badly. But it's just exciting to me to see the change. Yeah. So in the 20 years I've lived here, we didn't even have like Walmart, and all that was all new.
Right.
And that's just in 20 years. This place has gone from, Mayberry to, we're like a mini city. It's so great. It's just great to see the community work so hard to develop so much in a short period of time.
Yeah. So are you going to stay in this business?
Of course.
What's the next phase of Melissa Plant?
Well, I think it's just going to be this right here. I love it.
Yeah.
We're doing fabulous, and I love to travel. This job allows me to travel.
Yeah.
So I don't see myself leaving anytime soon.
Yeah.
Now, as I get older and the kids are out of college, I can see us spending our winters, maybe January and February, in a warmer climate. But I don't see us ever leaving here. So,
Perfect.
yeah.
I know we gave you some prep questions, but I just want to make sure we open the floor. If there were things that you were like, I really want to get this point in, I really want to talk about that we didn't cover, I want to give you the floor.
I think we covered everything that I was excited to cover as far as real estate goes. So I'm just thankful that you guys have this podcast and that small business is a big thing to you guys because it's so important, you know. And real quick, as far as cheerleaders go, I just want to throw this out real fast. You look at all of our friends who are small business owners. You have Chris and Eric Graham with Graham Aesthetics. And then you have the Foxes, Barrett and Julia Fox, with long haul leasing and everything they do. Of course, Alicia Davis and her State Farm. And then, Jeff Diedrich, like I said, first person I met. If you want to talk small business, he has several here in town, which is so great. And I just love the fact that I have all these people in my life that can help me with my business. Yeah. And Matt and Lindsay Lyons and Williams Auto Body. I could sit here and go on and on about so many people who are always positive in my life and always sending people to me. Referrals are my lifeline. And everyone has been such great cheerleaders and helped me with my success. And then in return, I try to help them with their success. And that's why, I love the small businesses because it's a network, it's a community that we would not be here without.
Excellent. So how does someone reach you?
Call, text, email, anything. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me at the office occasionally, but usually I'm out running around. So, yeah.
So look for Melissa Plant, Coldwell.
Melissa Plant, Coldwell Banker, J. David Thompson's office.
Yeah.
On Facebook, it's Melissa Plant Broker, Coldwell Banker, J. David Thompson Realty, I believe. So I'm always posting pictures of the lake because it's my happy place, and houses I have listed.
Great.
So, and if anyone ever has any questions, I'm here to help. It doesn't have to be that you're wanting to sell your house right now or that you are ready to buy. A lot of times it's questions. It's, hey, I'm going to sell in 3 or 4 years when the kids are out of school, and we're trying to decide what flooring to put in. Mm-hmm. Call me. I'm happy to help. Or we're putting in new kitchen cabinets, probably going to be having a job transfer in the next year or two. Don't want to go crazy. Do you care to come over and help me? Give us some guidance. I do that all the time. Or someone is trading houses in the family and they need to know what the value is without hiring an appraiser. I'm doing that tonight. So, I'm here to help. Everything we do isn't just about sales. We are here to help you make the right decisions with your homes, to help you make the right business decisions, even if selling within your family or to a best friend. So I'm just here to help whatever your needs are in the real estate business.
I love that. And I love that somebody can work with you to get access to more in-market information. I love HGTV, don't get me wrong, but sometimes their guidance is really not that relatable to our market. And my concern is always when people we don't want the appraisal disappointment moment. And so many times people are putting really high-end finishes in that are honestly just for their enjoyment and don't really increase the value. Square footage is really the baseline and what the market is selling for.
Exactly.
In the appraisal world. So those things aren't helped. So that's a huge service. And I do think it is marketing and building loyalty and building relationships. And so kudos to you. I love, some of our guests are very heavy social media. Some of our guests but I love that you have this network of worker bees and doers and successful people. That's awesome.
Yeah, it makes it very nice. And it's a rewarding job, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, you've been a great guest. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Melissa
Thanks
Plant.
for having me.
Yeah, you did.
I appreciate it.
You did great.
It was awesome.
All right.
Thank you so much. Now we'll do our little closeout and wrap it up.
Yeah, well, thank everyone for watching and listening. Small Town Big Business Podcast. Thank you for our sponsors supporting us. And thanks again to Arcadia Wealth Group, Black Diamond Harley Davidson and RV, Fowler Heating and Cooling, the Swinford Media Group, Watermark Auto Group Foundation, and Luke O'Neill, who's our producer at Union Street Arts, and he does a great job. If you want to know more about EThOs and you have needs for a co-working space, if you want to find out more about how to start a business, or maybe you just need some training and development, you can reach out to me. I'm Russell Williams. My email is russell@watermarkethos.org. You can find us on Facebook too. It's Ethos at the Citadel on Tower Square Plaza.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Small Town Big Business. Please don't forget to go to your favorite podcast app and hit subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. And if you like what we're doing and you know somebody who would also like to hear the success stories of folks in our Southern Illinois region, please share your favorite episode with someone who might enjoy it. And if you want to help us with some of our ranking, you can always leave us a review, help people find us. We appreciate it very much. With that, I'm Jennifer Olson. I'm Director of Business Development here in the city of Marion. My contact information is all on LinkedIn, and you can always find me at City Hall, now the new City Hall. That would be 350 Tower Square, formerly First Southern Bank, formerly Bank of Marion. So thank you all.
Thanks for joining us.